channel Commerce Talk with Sadhana, and this is 7th video of class 12th macroeconomics and second video of our second chapter, that is accounting of national income. Okay, and yesterday we built the foundation with the basics, and today we are tackling the main topics, and that main topic is 3 methods of measuring national income. So before we learn that how to calculate national income, let's first understand why do we need to calculate national income. Suppose your doctor checks your BP. You went to a doctor, and first of all, what doctor checks? Doctor checks your BP, weight, sugar level. But why? Doctor check all these basic details to check your health. Similarly, every country also wants to know its economic health. But how can we know whether a country's economy is doing good or not? So the answer is we can calculate national income, and through national income we can know that whether that country is doing financially or economically good or not. So national income tells us that how much income the country has earned total, how much production has taken place, whether the economy is growing or slowing down. Got it? Whether people's standard of living is improving. It helps government make future economic policies also. So just your report card, you get your report card after result. So just like your report card tells us about a student's performance, exactly same national income is the report card of an economy. So if I ask you that I want to calculate national income, but how can I calculate it? Any rough idea? So you will probably tell me that we can count person's salary, or we can count every company's profit or the value of everything produced. So how? So all these approaches lead us to the same answer. That's why economists use 3 different methods to calculate national income, and all these 3 methods we are going to study today. So first of all, remember only one thing, that is, let me clear this page first of all. Remember only one thing, that wherever any good produced in any country, that means production, results in income, and that income results in expenditure. Very simple process, and this process is a base of our calculation of national income. So whenever goods are produced, someone earns money by production, and after that money earned by that producer, he will expend that money on something else which he want or what he want. Got it? So there are simply 3 different ways of looking at the same economic activity, and first method is our value added or product method. So national income can be measured using 3 alternative and equivalent methods. All methods are same or equal. All will give same national income to you. Each method looks at circular flow of income from a different point of view, that is according to production, income or expenditure. So all 3 should give the same value of national income for the economy. So first one is value added or product method. It is based on output method. Got it? So this method measures national income by estimating the net value added by each producing enterprise in the economy during the same year. It sums the contribution of every sector at each stage of production, thereby avoiding double counting. So basically in this method what we do, we sum up all the net value added in all levels. Got it? This is value added method. And for example, net value added by this, net value added by this, net value added by this, we sum all these net values. Why? To avoid double counting. Calculate contribution of every sector, primary, secondary or tertiary, at each stage. And formula for this method is gross value added is equals to value of output minus intermediate consumption, and this value of output can be calculated by value of output is equals to sales plus change in stock. What is change in stock? Closing stock minus opening stock. Got it? So gross value added for main formula is this value of output minus intermediate consumption, and value of output can be calculated by total sales plus change in stock. Sales plus change in stock. Got it? From here we get gross value added, and if you want to reach from gross to net, then minus depreciation from gross, and if you want from MP to FC or market price to factor cost, then we treat net indirect tax separate from this. So basically we have, see, if we want to went gross to net, then depreciation is used. Depreciation is minus from gross, and if we want market price to factor cost, then from market price we have to subtract net indirect tax. When we will subtract net indirect tax and plus subsidy, that will result into factor cost. Got it? So what is main definition of this formula? If I want to write, this is NDP or net domestic product at factor cost is equals to net value added of all producing unit in the domestic territory. So what are precautions you have to take while calculating that? Only value of final goods are to be taken. Why? To avoid double counting. Exclude sale of second hand goods. Why? Because we have already counted that goods whenever that good was sold at first time. Includes input value of self consumed goods. So those goods we have consumed for ourselves, we also have to calculate, we also have to compute that value in national income. And imputed rent of owner occupied houses. So the rent for those houses which owner have occupied for themselves or on account production of services, for example housewife service. So this was our net value added, and next method is income method. This income method measures the national income by summing up the factor income paid out by all producing unit in the domestic territory to the owner of four factors. What are four factors? Land, labor, capital and entrepreneur. All these are four factors, and the factor income which will be received by all these four factors in a domestic territory is total net income. So NDP at FC, you have to remember that from which formula we are getting NDP, from which formula we are getting gross domestic product. Got it? So NDP is equals to COE or compensation of employees plus rent, interest, profit and mixed income of self-employed. So basically we have added all the factor incomes here, and self compensation of employees can be obtained by wages and salaries plus employers contribution to social security. Got it? So operating surplus, what is operating surplus here? Rent plus interest plus profit. Rent, interest, profit is equals to operating surplus. So another formula, another term for this formula, NDP is equals to, we can term rent, interest, profit as operating surplus, and other like compensation of employees and mixed income will be remain same. Okay. So operating surplus is equals to rent plus interest plus profit, and profit is equals to, if we want to calculate profit, then profit is equals to corporate tax plus dividend plus undistributed profit. What is mixed income of self-employed here? Income of own account workers, for example farmers, doctors, small shopkeepers, that combines wage, rate, interest and profit and cannot be separated. What are precautions we should follow while calculating national income by income method is excluding transfer incomes. What are transfer incomes? Like old age pension, scholarships, any windfall gain which doesn't occur regularly, sale proceeds of second hand goods and financial assets, and imputed value of owner occupied houses rent must be included, as it is also a factor payment even though it is not paid in cash. Got it? So this was our income method. We have done our two methods, and our last method is expenditure method. As its name suggests, we will sum up all expenditures in this method. This method measures national income by adding up all expenditure incurred on purchase of final goods and services produced within a domestic territory during the year, by household, by firms, by government or any foreign sector. So from expenditure method we will get GDP. So GDP is equals to private final consumption expenditure plus government final expenditure plus investment plus net export. Got it? So GDP at MP, short formula for this is CGI plus net export. This is our formula to calculate national income. So all the expenditure which is done by private enterprises, government and domestic consumption. What are precautions to take? Include only expenditure on final goods and services. I am telling you again and again that only final goods and services are to be taken in consideration. Exclude expenditure on intermediate goods, second hand goods, purchase of share, bond and transfer payments. All these are not included. So a brief summary about all three methods are: first is approach. Value added methods approach is on the basis of production or output. Income method is based on distribution side, that how much factor incomes are earned. And third is expenditure method is based on spending that amount. What is sum? That what is to be sum in all these items, what are to be sum? In value added methods we sum up all net values. In income method we sum up all factor payments. In expenditure method we sum up all final expenditures. Best suited for value added method is best suited for primary and secondary sector. Income method is best suited for tertiary and service sector, while expenditure method is best suited for whole economy, especially demand side analysis. Key precaution avoid double counting of intermediate goods in value added method, exclude transfer payments and windfall gains in income method, and include only final expenditure in expenditure method. And here your all methods are done. So for your exam, I have a tip that all three methods must be given identical value of national income, because in circular flow, what is produced is what is earned is what is spent. All values are equal. So if you calculate national income by any of the method, your answer will be same. National income will be same. Got it? So methods to calculate national income is completed, and we have few topics like what is domestic and national concept. So domestic concept is based on the economic territory or domestic territory of a country or within any country. It includes the value of output or income generated within that geographical boundary by residents as well as non-residents. So the national concept is based on residents of a country wherever in the world they operate. So basic thing is to distinguish between domestic and national concept is, in domestic you will not go beyond territory or beyond that boundary of any country, but while in national concept you will consider whole world, that in whole world where the residents of a country have earned. So what is bridge between domestic and national income? Same like gross and net. Bridge between gross and net was depreciation. Bridge between factor price, market price and factor price was net indirect tax and subsidies. Same is bridge between domestic and national is net factor income from abroad. Whenever we calculate the factor income from abroad will be considered as national income. Got it? So how to calculate it? Factor income earned by resident from abroad minus factor income earned by non-residents within the domestic country. So payment received minus paid is actually our NFIA. So if net factor is positive, that means national income is greater than domestic. If negative, that is national income is less than domestic income. Second concept is market price and factor cost. We have done this concept. Bridge between market price and factor cost is net indirect taxes and subsidies. We can calculate indirect taxes minus subsidy is known as net indirect taxes. So here it is indirect taxes and subsidies, and together these make net indirect taxes. So when we minus subsidies from indirect taxes, those are net indirect taxes. Got it? And this topic is also done. And here our chapter is complete. We have remaining one topic also, GDP and welfare. Let's see this. So how to calculate GDP at MP? So gross value added at within domestic territory. GNP, GDP plus NFIA means national, domestic to national. So we will plus NFIA. Net we have to calculate from gross, so minus depreciation. Net from gross minus depreciation. GDP, but factor cost and market price, so net indirect tax. So you have to check what we have to treat. For example, net same, domestic same, product same, but factor cost and market price. So you have to change market price into factor cost, and the bridge between market price and factor cost is net indirect taxes. So that's how your question will be. What is private, personal and personal disposable income? This is a very confusing topic for students. So what is private income? That total income that accrues to the private sector from all sources both within and outside the country. So all the income which accrued is whether from within or outside the country is known as private income. And how to calculate private income? NDP from private plus NFIA plus interest on national debts plus current transfer from government plus net current transfer from rest of the world. And what is personal income? When we will subtract corporate tax and undistributed profit from private income is known as personal income. So it is that part of private income which actually reaches individuals or households. So from total private income, first of all, corporate give tax, then keep some undistributed profit with itself for uncertainties or for improvement, and after that the income is remaining is known as personal income. And what is personal disposable income? The income that finally remains with the individual for consumption or saving after paying their direct personal taxes and other compulsory non-tax payments. So personal disposable income is equals to personal income minus direct tax minus any miscellaneous fees or fine. That is personal disposable income, that income which is remained with that individual for their private consumption. And how to we can calculate? We can calculate it by consumption expenditure plus saving. So we have done all these formulas. Yes, only this slide is remaining, that what is GDP, nominal GDP, real GDP. So the value of all final goods and services produced in a year measured at current prices, it can rise even without any real increase in output due to rise in prices or inflation. This is known as nominal GDP. And real GDP, the value of all that final goods and services produced in a year measured at constant prices of any base year. Real GDP changes only when physical quantity changes. So it is a true indicator of economic growth. So nominal GDP is at current value and real GDP is at base price. And what is GDP deflator? GDP deflator is a comprehensive price index that measures the average price level of all goods and services included in GDP and is used to convert nominal GDP to real GDP. Got it? So GDP deflator is equals to nominal GDP divided by real GDP multiplied by 100. Difference between nominal and real GDP is price is used. In nominal, current prices are used. Real, base price. Affected by price rise, yes, it can rise even if output is constant due to inflation, but it will only change whenever actual physical output will change. Use, it is not a reliable indicator of growth because it can increase due to many factors, but it is a true indicator of economic growth. And here your chapter 2 is finished. Tomorrow we will start with our chapter 3, and if you have any doubts, please tell me in the comment section. See you in the next class.